Walking for a cause. Currently, more than 6 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's disease, and more than 11 million people serve as unpaid caregivers. The diagnosis is hard on families, and so community support is key, and that's what we're about today. Joining us to share his family's battle with this debilitating disease is Dr. Frank Jones. Dr. Jones, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, you're the vice chair of the board of directors of Alzheimer's Association, the Georgia chapter.
Yes.
Give us a little bit of an idea of your relationship with Alzheimer's.
Well, both my mother and my grandmother died from Alzheimer's disease, and it was just devastating for our family. And the first time when my grandmother went through, we really had never even really heard of Alzheimer's before and didn't really know what was going on. But by the time my mother started developing Alzheimer's, we were more familiar with it, but it still was just as devastating to our family, especially to my brother, who was the primary caregiver for her 24/7 a day. And she passed away, my mother passed away 5 years ago now, but it's still affecting our family to this day.
Yeah, this is certainly deeply personal for your family. Give us an idea of what it means to be a caregiver. And we've talked about that a little bit, off screen, about some people might not even qualify themselves as what a caregiver is. But really, if you have a family member with this disease, you are in some way, shape, or form a caregiver.
Right. And I was speaking with one of my colleagues just a few minutes ago. At that time, we didn't know caregiver wasn't even in our vocabulary. All we knew is that we were just taking care of our mother. It means everything. You wake her up, you change her clothes, you give her a bath, you feed her, you're with her 24/7. And there's some patients whose families are even more dependent. At least my mom was a little bit independent, but my brother still had to provide all the services for her.
Each journey with this disease is a little bit different, right? What is it? How meaningful is it to come together for a walk like this and be with other people who've experienced some of the same things you may have?
It's very important just to be able to see other people that can share their experiences. Sometimes we laugh about things that happen that aren't really funny, but that's the only way that you can deal with it. And just to be able to honor them and to celebrate them with other people that have been through your same shared experiences, it really means a lot.
We also talked a little bit about this off screen. People of color are significantly more likely to develop Alzheimer's. What can be done about that, and what can be done about how people of color are treated when they have this disease?
Well, the first thing we have to do is to make it aware in the Black community.
Yeah.
Like other mental health issues in all communities, it's something you really don't talk about it, but in the Black community in particular, we don't talk about it. I have every one of my friends has a family member that has Alzheimer's disease, yet it's not something that we talk about. So we really have to raise awareness. And that's something that the Alzheimer's Association, they have, one of their pillars is to increase awareness in diverse communities.
And you can't treat it if you don't have a diagnosis, right? I mean, you're not going to get the proper care. You're not going to take care of your family member the way that you may or may not know how to without that advice from medical professionals. What about if someone who's watching is concerned about a particular family member? What can they do?
The first thing you should do is, first of all, there are some normal aging processes, but you have to try to differentiate this is normal from what might be a little abnormal.
Right.
The first thing you should do is to take that person to their primary care physicians. Unfortunately, a lot of folks in the minority communities don't even have a primary care physician or don't have access, or there are lots of other barriers. But that would be the first step, is to take them to their primary care physician.
There's so many people who don't do. I just moved a few times in the past 10 years, didn't have a primary care physician until I moved here, and I'm a dad of 2 young kids. I'm like, this is something you just need to do, whether or not you think Alzheimer's may be in play or not. That's just good general health advice. Well, we look forward to the walk, and thank you so much for being here, Dr. Jones.
So thank you for having us.
You can join us Saturday, November 5th at the Battery at Truist Park. Log on to AtlantaNewsFirst.com for more information on how to sign up right now.